This is a Podfire production.
It's the highest of standards, on the peak we have landed. It's not silver, it's not gold, you want the best, take advantage. Go platinum. Go platinum.
PSG has started a live video.
Oh my god,
Oh yeah, the volume. We've got to turn the volume down, otherwise it's like
I like the echo.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you've ever listened to radio of this nature, Jeremy. We'll introduce Jeremy in a moment. But back in the day, you'd ring in the radio station. They'd say, "Turn your radio down in the background." Thanks, mate.
I've heard that before.
You have?
Yeah, I've heard it a couple of times actually.
Welcome to the new and improved PSG grading podcast. Still on Thursdays at 1:30.
Same time slot.
Same time slot, but as you can see, we are now looking straight at the camera, and you
not.
can see us, and you can see us without having to tilt your head because there's only two of us. There's myself, Rob Verhove. I am the general manager at Platinum Standard Grading, and to my right on the screen on your left is Jeremy Fisher. Jeremy is. I don't know. Do you have a title here?
No.
Because there's
No, I do. I do have a title.
What's the title?
It's a good question.
It's a good question.
On my email, it says lead researcher.
Lead researcher, yeah, I know, but I think jack of all trades is probably the correct title for you at the moment because you are doing everything from researching to grading to
Putting up ring cameras.
you're putting up ring cameras. Yeah, we did that too just recently. So welcome to the PSG podcast, everyone. We've got a few people that joined. Double coverage is on, and they've just said let's go Socceroos, and we will talk about that in a moment. We got Benno Manning, we got Sharky77. Roberto is what that card guy. That's Bailey. He's on my rundown list as well, Bailey. So we'll get through to that. And he has bagged us for being a minute late, which really wasn't too bad because
I blame Ruby.
It was looking worse for a second there. And Fadeaway Collections, APM 0205. Cohen's on. He's always here. Suns Cards Collector, BGM 1708, two others. I don't know who's here, but we're here, which is the important thing.
I think you being here is the important thing.
I don't know about that. So we are going to trial doing the podcast a little bit differently. We've only got the two. Why have we got two people on only this week, Jeremy?
Well, we're the only two people here.
We're the only two left, yep. So the rest of the boys have all deserted us, and they've left two of us here, which is not too bad. We're having a good time. So that's one reason why we've got just two of us on. But the other reason is we're just going to try and streamline things a little bit more on the podcast. We've got a few segments that we're going to introduce today, and those segments may last, they may not, depending on the feedback we get.
Are you going to add like game type segments?
Game type?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
I don't know.
This is feedback on the run because we didn't have to talk about this.
I don't know, like maybe bring in your favourite card.
We could do that.
Or,
we could do that as a
something
future
like
one.
that.
It's not on the run sheet this week, so we might give it a
Rob
give it a
didn't
swerve.
speak to me beforehand.
No, we didn't. We did the run sheet, but it was actually done in the car as I was driving from Brisbane today.
Ooh.
So,
Were you driving?
I was driving, but I wasn't. I was speaking it into my Siri. So that's how we did that there. So that's the start. We've got through the welcome, the introduction, the
easy part.
The easy part we have. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a PSG submission partner spotlight or a just a bit of a look at someone who one of our submission partners who's sent us a submission in this week. And I think you know who we're going to talk about this week.
Can I take a wild guess?
Yep.
I'm going to go with JCS.
Which is pretty good because we did talk about that one before we came on, so I'm glad we got that one right. But yeah, they've sent us in. They've actually sent us in two very large submissions this week from their customers. So JCS, where are they situated at, Jez?
They're situated at Carrara Markets. I was gonna go with the slogan that they used to say on the ads, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember the.
I'm just
Markets.
thinking it's a hell of a day out. But that's not it.
I'll tell you what, it is actually it though. if you go there with other people, it is a hell of a day out.
That's Kingston Park Raceway.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's not a bad place either. It's probably not quite as good as going to JCS Toys, but Connie and John, or John and Connie, which is the JCS, the JC part of the JCS. They specialise in Pokemon, but they also have a little bit of NBA there now and some soccer. I was actually there on Monday when they weren't open to catch up with them and pick up the submission because they were close to where we are. They've been doing some really good things there, and they're a fantastic place to get Christmas gifts for the kids because they've got everything because they don't just do cards.
I've never been inside.
You've never been? I'll take you.
Oh,
We can get some little Dutch pancakes at the Carrara markets for
like a
breakfast.
little date.
Yeah, a little one. Hopefully Chris doesn't find out because he'd be a bit jealous. So they do figurines, toys, a lot of Christmas stuff, a lot of Grinch. Connie loves the Grinch. I don't know, I think she actually likes the Grinch a little bit too much. She gets very excited, and she had a 6 foot tall Grinch that was dancing at the front of their store.
Who's the equivalent here to the Grinch?
Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I'd be a close second, but
No, you just don't. You don't say a heck of a lot, so it's hard to call you the Grinch. You'd be the silent assassin. So JCS Toys. So if you are on the Gold Coast now, a lot of people that come to the Gold Coast and come for a holiday, they end up at Carrara Markets because it's on all the marketing and tourism stuff.
it's a hell of a day out.
It's a hell of a day out, and but so if you do get down there, please go and check them out. Everyone loves a bit of Grinch. So that card guy just mentioned that Cohen's top 5 graded cards. Yeah, Cohen, mate, you might be on something there. You might be on something there. I think that might be something we will develop.
Maybe like top 5 of the the month, but
yeah,
the
we might do that
month
once a
before.
month. Yeah, might do that once a month, and we can you and I can take a browse over the cards as they're going out the door and just take a little tally, what we like and what we don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like Essendon cards.
I love Essendon
Yeah,
cards.
I knew that. While Bailey has made a comment, it's not really on the run sheet, but it's something I wanted to bring up. We took the time last week during the podcast to mention Bailey's Christmas lights. Did you remember that?
I do remember that actually.
Did you go and see Bailey's Christmas lights?
Look, I think we were just talking about it. I'm a bit of a Grinch. So
Oh, that's right.
not the biggest fan of Christmas, but no, I have not. But I'm thinking maybe I'll take my my brother and
His son.
his son and the other one.
Yeah, well, I'm taking my wife and my aunt, and we're going to go to Bailey's place, but it doesn't matter anymore. Well, it does. Everyone should go and check out Bailey's place, and he's going to put the address again in there, 19 something I think it was. But anyway, Kiss FM in Brisbane this morning awarded the prizes for the best Christmas lights in Brisbane. Guess where Bailey came?
You say you came third last time?
Third.
I'm going to go with first.
He came first.
Way.
So Bailey has sent me through a picture of the said Christmas lights that were judged the number one in Brisbane, and Ruby's looking at me as if to say, you're going to say Ruby's going to put a picture of that in the video, and that's exactly what will happen. We'll put a picture of Bailey's house. It has the biggest Santa in the world.
Biggest Santa in the world.
Biggest Santa in the world. So 19 Namara Street, Wynnum West. So make sure you lock your doors when you get out to Wynnum. No, that's unfair, but I did used to work out there. And Adam Elson was saying that he got a Lecky signed card. So we might actually, that's our next segment actually. So our next segment is called Aussies Making Waves. Now, do you know why I've gone with that?
I'm going to go with, we've got a lot of beaches.
Right. No. So Aussies Making Waves. Now, PSG, we're an Aussie company.
We are, yes.
And we want to make waves on the international market, don't we?
We do.
And that's the plan, is to see slabs of PSG everywhere. So every week we're going to come up with some Aussies that can be linked to the card industry that are making waves around the world. Now, Adam said he was glad he got a Lecky auto grader. The Double Coverage legends, and if you want to listen to a great podcast, Double Coverage are your boys. Second best podcast, maybe. So who would we be talking about if we're talking about Aussies making waves?
We'll be talking about the Socceroos.
We would have to talk about
but
the
more
Socceroos.
importantly, Suter.
Oh, Harry, Big H. We'd have to talk about the Socceroos. Now, I'm a bit dusty. I was up till 3 o'clock watching the game and then couldn't get to sleep for another hour after that. So
tough.
it was tough, but well worth it, wasn't it?
Well worth it.
So for those that don't know Jez, he does love his world game.
I really only like two sports. It's AFL and soccer.
Yep. So, mate, you're our resident expert on this. We didn't see this coming really a week and a half ago.
Absolutely not.
4-1 to France, which was actually could have been like 8-1 against us.
Oh,
that
it
night.
should have been more, but
Yep. What happened? What changed?
to be honest, I don't know. I just don't think. Well, Tunisia came in the other game. They didn't have their strongest side in. They didn't play. What's his name? Kazri.
It's only a World Cup. Why wouldn't you have your strongest side in?
They thought Australia were easy beats.
Ah, gotcha. So we might rest a player or two.
Well, they probably had their best side in that they thought at the time. But
Yep.
as soon as Kazri came on against us, everything started looking dangerous.
Yep. And then, so 1-0 was a great result. And was it the big Duke?
Mitch Duke,
Mitch Duke put one in the back of the old onion bag.
one of the luckiest looking goals I think I've ever seen.
It was, hey, like the ref has tripped up the Tunisian player. Then the cross has been deflected and bounced over everyone's head, and there he is. He's just there. But you've got to be there.
You got to be there. You got to get that little touch on it.
And this is the amazing part of soccer is that you've only got to be there for like once in the game, and that can be the difference.
Well, he got the touch at the halfway line that set it all up, and then scored the goal.
That was amazing. And then he gave the little salute to his son in the stands, which was really cool as well. So 1-0, we beat Tunisia, and then the world tells us that all we need is a draw.
Oh, well, all we did need was a draw.
Yep. All you got to do is draw against Denmark, which, coincidentally, and we talked about this last week on the podcast, we played France. We're ranked 38. They're ranked 4. France are going to beat us 9 times out of 10. But then we're 38, and we've come up against the 10th ranked team. Now, you've got to say that even getting a draw out of that game would have
been great.
Would have been great, but would it have been enough?
No.
No.
It would have at the start of the game.
Yeah, but then these little Tunisians who couldn't beat Australia.
I blame France.
I blame France. It's all about the submarines.
They decided to rest their whole team.
Yeah, 9 players. And Tunisia just went, well, this is fun. And they put one in the back of the net. And the commentator, I'm watching, and the commentator's going, oh, Tunisia have just scored. Oh, shit. And then
I think everyone... My dad was sitting next to me and my brother, and they both didn't even hear it. I said, Tunisia scored, no way. And they're like, what does that mean? I was like, that doesn't mean anything good for us.
I reckon that Energex around Australia, just the power usage went down after that because people just going, stuff this. We're not going to win this game. Draw was going to be quite an effort. And then bang, it was like a minute later.
Yeah, about a minute later, a perfect ball gets through to Matthew Leckie.
It was like, we've been playing all this really defensive soccer, really playing the game as hard as we could to stay in it. And I think they had 60% possession.
Yeah, it was
Denmark.
Oh, there was a funny stat that I heard. What was it? We've completed 56% of our passes.
Yep.
To Denmark's 91% of their passes. Every pass they did.
So Denmark, that's where Queen Mary is, isn't she? Or Princess Mary?
Oh, I don't know.
Ruby, have you got any facts on Princess Mary? She's from Denmark, isn't she? I think so. So, she's the Aussie princess over there. The Australian girl that met the prince at the Olympics and they got married and now they've got 92 children?
No.
I wonder how she's feeling tonight.
I don't know anything about that, Rob.
They're probably kicking her out of... if they kick Meghan Markle out from being a princess because she does something, surely knocking your country out of the World Cup is gone.
No, you're right.
Yeah, probably. We're still looking at... I'm pretty sure it's Denmark anyway. Prince Andrew. I don't know what Bailey's on about. But yeah, so 1-0 through to the final 16. Graham Arnold, what a legend. They interview him after the game and he's... because he's got no voice left.
This just in from Ruby, it is Denmark.
Denmark. Hey, if you are watching from Denmark and Princess Mary, if you are watching, you're welcome back home. If they're going to kick you out, we'll take you back here in Australia and we'll look after you. 1-0, Graham Arnold couldn't talk after the game and then told everyone to calm down and not celebrate. I just thought that was the most ironic thing ever, but well done to Graham Arnold.
Yeah, well done to the Socceroos.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So they are our Aussies making waves around the world for the week. How was that?
That was great.
All right, let's go to another segment then. We're going to look at the new promo, PSG promo. So on our socials, I believe will be tomorrow is the new promo. where we are having the Chase to Platinum 10.
We are.
We are having. We
Are we?
Yes, we are. We are having the Chase to Platinum 10. And what I'm seeing lately, and I think from our discussion before you'll agree with this, is that we're seeing people really take a lot of care with the cards they're sending in, and we're seeing a lot better cards coming in, aren't we?
Yeah, there is still some cards that we get sent in that just are in a.
Oh yeah,
I always forget what they're
just
called.
in a penny sleeve.
No, they're not in a sleeve, and they're just in the
In the top loader
in the
without a
top
sleeve.
loader. I
Oh,
always
no.
forget what the top
Could
loader's
you
called.
could you imagine what Pugs would say if he was here?
Oh, he would be.
He'd be unhappy.
We got about 10 cards in a row, and he was just like, "Are you serious?"
So Pugs would not be happy if he heard that. But yeah, but we are getting a lot of good cards come through the door. Yeah,
Heaps
so
of good cards.
we're getting really close. We can feel that Platinum 10, which is a 10 on all the 4 subgrades, is close. And the promotion is that the first person that gets that, and we're going to run this through till the end of January, the first person that gets it will get a $500 voucher to spend at one of our submission partners of their choice. 500 Australian dollars.
Oh, Australian dollars.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think that is amazing, and I would love to do that.
I would love to see. I want to make sure that someone gets this too. I want to see lots of cards come in. So $500 to spend at any submission partner. I'll tell you what, though. What happens if another person gets it?
I don't know, Rob. What happens?
I think we should chuck them $100 to a submission
Ooh.
partner. So if they get it before the end of, any cards that have been received that are still in the grading process will qualify for it.
Okay.
And any new cards that we receive up until the 31st of January, as long as the order's been placed by the 31st of January, they too will go into the.
As long as you get the Platinum 10.
As long as you get the Platinum 10. So $500 for the first and $100 for those coming after. So the way to get those in, what ways can we do?
You can go to any submission partner.
That's what I would suggest.
I reckon that's the easiest way.
I think it's the easiest way because they come in a big bulk lot and you don't have to worry about postage to and from.
Mm-hmm.
What other way could they do it?
You just said it, postage. You
They could go to our website.
Go to our website and
PSG.net
net.
PSgrading.net
PSgrading.
or PSG.cards. You could go that way. Or the one thing that is popping up a lot more now is the affiliate. You see a few affiliate links come up. So if you deal with a breaker or another store or whatever it might be that do the affiliate link, you can hit on the affiliate link and you get a 5% discount.
Ooh,
Not bad, eh?
bargain.
So they're the ways that you can get your cards in. Get them into us because we're really keen to give away some money. It would be nice if we could give it in the lead up to Christmas too. I'd be pretty excited about that.
That would be good. Imagine some Christmas presents from the local card shop.
Or look, you could go to them. You could go to JCS. You could go.
I was saying I wasn't actually plugging the local card shop. I was
Yeah.
just saying the local card shop.
Oh, you could go to your local card
shop.
shop, which is www.localcardshop.com.au. Yeah, you could go there too. But no, look, we really want to give that one away or give away a few of them and see what we get through the door. What cards grade really well at the moment?
The draft picks signatures. They're
2014.
yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
We got a lot of the 2014 draft pick signatures, and they have graded really well.
Too well.
Too well for because we've found in other years there's a lot of marks, printing
Yeah,
marks on the back.
Couple
But
printing lines in there.
yeah, but these ones graded sensationally. I know that we did one that had about 10 in it, and I think about 3 of them got 10s. Not
Yeah.
quite the Platinum 10, but they got 10s and nothing lower than a 9. So that they grade really well. And of course the Dragon Ball.
The Dragon Ball.
Always
good.
grade well. And Pokemon, we always have a bit of a problem with centering on the back.
Yeah.
So for people looking for those, a bit of a tip for those with the Pokemon cards is that if you flick your card over and look at the back, the centering on the back, you can see a marked difference between the bottom and the top, can't you?
One side's always just a bit fatter.
Yeah, yeah. So that normally brings the centering down to a 9.5. So it is harder to get with those. But you never know. If you have a look at the back and you go, you know what, this one looks cool, send it in. So
Cards that also grade well are just NRL TLA cards. And there's
those
some-
Legends cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We've had a couple of 10s. We talked about them last week, but they're worth another mention because they are really good. And I may have bought myself a Alan Border Legends signature card. So I might get that one graded. So we'll get it graded before the boys get back, and then sneak it through.
Get your own 10.
Yeah, I'll spend it on myself. No. Okay, so the next one that we want to look at is the cards through the door segment.
Cards
so what
through
what
the
have
door.
we seen in the last week? What are we seeing? Is there a bit of a trend?
There is a massive trend. It was mainly from one place, the trend.
Oh, the Adelaide,
Adelaide
Card
Card
Collector Show. Yeah. So we're into those now, aren't we? We're starting
Yes,
to grade
we are.
those ones. And what are we seeing?
We're seeing AFL.
AFL. We are seeing a lot of AFL. It's interesting because it's something that is really starting to gain momentum. I had a really good discussion with a guy this morning, and he wants to grade his Dusty collection, and it's just for him, right? He's never selling this collection. He just wants them encapsulated so that they are in the perfect condition that they are now. But it is gaining a bit of momentum in Australia to grade your cards.
Grade your AFL cards.
Grade your Australian cards, yeah. And I think it's probably been the biggest growth that we've seen in the last 6 months would be in those Australian cards. We're still seeing as many NBA cards, as many Pokemon cards that we've always seen. But the AFL and NRL are definitely coming through the door.
We're also getting a bit of traction with some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I know.
Not heaps, but like...
They confuse the heck out of me.
Same.
They are so difficult to understand what's going on. Maybe if someone knows their Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe they could give us a lesson one day.
Give us a helping hand.
Yeah, that's right. You're researching, or Zach's researching.
Just trying to find the set is impossible.
Yeah, it's do they have one of those things like Centre Stage? Can we?
I don't think they do.
I haven't seen it, but it would be good. There was it's not quite, doesn't quite fit this one, but we'll go with it anyway because I was going to do this one. No, I'll get to that later. Actually, Bailey, that was a roundabout way of getting confused. Bailey does that to me too. He just gets me all flustered.
I'm confused.
Yeah. Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! We've seen some Yu-Gi-Oh! I've seen a few more of the One Piece cards from Japan.
Yeah, they're really good cards.
They're really nice cards as well. So there's a lot of really cool cards out there. Another one of the AFL ones that has been grading really well was the Footy's Finest.
Yeah, they have been as well.
So they're a cool looking card as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So nothing really spectacular has come through the door this week, but just a lot of nice AFL cards that we seem to be grading.
Yeah, a lot of Port Adelaide.
Yeah, because coming from South Australia, I know if you get your card back and it's a Port Adelaide one, and when you sent it in, it didn't have a big bend in the middle, but it does now. It was probably me. That's Port Adelaide. I don't know. Can't really support them. TCG news. Let's talk about some TCG stuff. I mean, we were touching on that. There's a new Pokemon release that's come out.
There is, yes.
It's been really popular too. I know here in Australia, almost impossible to get booster boxes of it. What's it called? Silver Tempest?
It's written a couple of times.
It's written a couple of times, yeah. So the Pokemon people are going crazy, and there's also the Charizard UPCs that are around, and I think it was Crown Zenith is the latest one that's going to be coming out in January. So
Is that a new one coming out?
it's a new one.
Rounds Zenith.
I've only seen ETBs for that.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
which is the Elite Trainer box.
It is,
I'm
yes.
learning, like I'm getting there. But I'm sure that there must be something else that comes with it. And there was I know at local card shop we got a new Magic release as well that just came out. So that's been going in. It's something, again, when we look at what we grade a heck of a lot of TCG games, don't we?
We do, yes.
Cards, sorry, yeah.
Just not Magic.
Just not we don't do Magic at this stage. And the reason is, what?
We couldn't tell if there's a fake or not.
Yes. Yeah,
There's too many.
There's just so many that have been faked over the time, and they're quality fakes. And on that, like if we want to talk about fakes, we've had a bit of an influx of some
Yeah.
Pokemon fakes, haven't we?
I don't know what they were thinking either. There was, like 4 cards? And
Yeah. And they were horrible.
they were like, what are the alternate arts?
Yep.
But the alternate arts aren't glossy,
Yep.
and the cards were glossy.
Yeah, the whole card
The
was
whole
glossy.
card was glossy.
And then the back was just a different shade of
It
blue.
almost looked like they just went to the printer upstairs and just printed it out on a piece of paper.
Yeah. But that's one of the things that we do. And, when we get the cards in here, we make sure that they are what they say they are. And, there's a hell of a lot of people out there that fake cards, sell cheap knockoffs from wherever they get knockoffs from. Thankfully.
Where would you get a knockoff from?
I don't know. I'm going to say China. but only because all the manufacturing is done in China. But there'll be people with printers anywhere. You know, not card related, but I remember a guy in Melbourne telling me once about never buy a Wayne Carey autographed jersey because he walked into a place where there was literally 6 people just sitting there signing Wayne Carey's autographs on jerseys.
Wow.
You know, so where people think they can make a buck, they're gonna try and make a buck, which is not great.
That's not the best thing you want to see.
No, and that's you got your COAs or your letters of authority. You know, make sure if you do buy something and it's of value like that, make sure you get it with a certificate of authenticity alongside it. Do you have any sports memorabilia?
I do.
Yeah.
I have I don't. My mum does. She's got a Suns jersey from the first Suns team signed by everyone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and a match ball
from the Suns.
From the Suns.
Did she win that at the game?
Yeah, we were sitting there, and one of the people walked up the stairs, and we were sitting in our member seats, and they just like walked straight up to my mum, and we were like, "Oh, we're getting kicked out here." Because my dad's he's a bit out there when we're watching footy. He's the one who stands there and he goes, "Ball!"
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them up here in Queensland.
And she walked away, and we were like, "What's going on?" And then half an hour later, we saw her on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, because didn't they used to take them on the field after the game and say, "Here's the match ball.
Yeah.
You're the lucky winner."
Yeah, and then we took a photo that night with my mum laying in bed holding the footy, and the caption underneath was, "Smells like Gary Ablett's foot."
Wow. We've kind of drifted from the TCG talk, but smells like Gary Ablett's foot. I have a jersey from the Suns as well. I have one that what they called the first run. And so it was the first set of jerseys they ever made.
Really?
They made 100 jerseys, and they were to be sold in the shops, as a retail jerseys. And Gary Ablett and Bluey McKenna signed 25 of them or something.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I don't know why I bought it, but I did. And now it sits in my cupboard as a Brisbane Lions supporter, thinking, why did I do it? But, so look, back onto the TCG. But I called this TCG talk or TCG news, but really one of the growth areas is the non-sports, so TCG, but also like the old movies and all those kind of things. You know, we're seeing a fair few of those cards come through.
Yeah, there was
a lot of Marvel.
What was that one I saw the other day? The Michael Jackson card that was like,
Yes.
it looks like it got bent like 15 times.
If we graded that, I looked at it and I said, how did you grade that? And you went, no, they just wanted it in a slab as a personal collection label, which is a really good way if you just want to maintain the card or display the card.
Yeah, display them.
Yeah, and because it would have graded a 1, wouldn't it? It was horrible.
0.5.
Yeah, it was like bent all over the shop. So normally we grade it 1 above the lowest, because centering would have been all right, but it was one of those cases where you just have to overall grade it a 1. You couldn't do anything else. But yeah, it's a real growth industry. And a lot of people are finding the old packs of cards, and we got in the local card shop. We got some New Kids on the Block cards from the 90s. What else did we get this week? Pocahontas, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the movie cards from when I think it was Kevin Costner did that one.
You love some just random stuff.
I do. There is some random. What else do we have? We had Batman Returns and 1992 Golf. Yeah, I know, a bit different. So they're the kind of things that that are coming back into the popular things to collect, I guess. If people have got segments that they'd like us to go with, just let us know. I'm sure Bailey, he'll have something for me. He'll give us something that we can go with in the future, I guess.
We'll come up with more segments as we go.
So I like what Cohen said before. I'm just having a look at what they've got. It looks like Taylor and Bailey just having a nice conversation there between each other. I liked what Cohen said before about the top 5 cards that come through, but I think on a monthly basis that would be an awesome segment, that these are the top 5, and then that way we can get them out to our customers, and they can have the cards back in hand, and then we'll talk about their grades afterwards.
Yeah, and then maybe show them off on the.
Yeah, well, if we had a photo, we could get Ruby to insert that photo into the podcast for us, which would be really cool. Bailey wants Yellowstone. I've never watched Yellowstone. Have you?
No.
Maybe we should have a recommended TV segment too.
That we have to watch before the next week's episode.
Yeah, I'll tell you which one I watched. Off topic, and we will go from we'll stray every now and again. But I watched that Tulsa King. Actually, Tulsa King. It's called. It's Sylvester Stallone's new project. So it's from the makers of The Sopranos, and not without ruining it because I can't ruin it. There's only a couple of episodes in, but basically he's done 25 years as a mafia bloke. He got 25 years in the clink.
Yeah.
Came out and it was like, well, what are you going to do with me? And they sent him to Tulsa. So he gets to look after Tulsa and be the gangster. So it's really good though. It is really good. So if you
have to give it a watch.
John's here. John, I hope you were listening earlier on. We had a big chat about JCS. Yeah, John says it's a great show. John's a good judge. Sports card news. So I will get this card up as well. Bailey, can you tell me where that card's sold, by the way? So Bailey sent to me a picture of, and I'll get it up on here, and then here we go. It still is. There's Bailey's house, by the way.
Oh.
Santa, third largest Santa in the world.
I thought it was first.
No, the largest Santa, not the best Santa. It's the best in the world. It's just not the tallest. So that's the card. It's a noir, number to 5.
Wow.
Zion Williamson rookie card, and that card guy 98, who's Bailey's going to tell us where it went to, where it sold, but it sold for $3,200 last night.
Oh,
so I'll get a picture of that up there too, because you hear some prices that are sold on Luca cards going for 10 and 20 grand, and not even rookie cards. Some of these, to me, that just sounds like a pretty good bargain.
Is it just like, I'm not really into the like NBA.
Yep.
But like,
because you're short. Well, you're actually not short, but
no, I just suck at throwing balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm usually better at kicking them.
Which is Aussie rules in soccer. Good work.
Yeah, but like collecting NBA cards, is it more you're trying to collect for who you think's going to be good?
Yeah.
Or is it?
This could be like a podcast on its own, but yeah, basically the collector market. I go for the players I love.
Yeah.
I would rather get myself a Magic Johnson autograph, because that guy's a dead set star and that will never be taken away from him. But most people will chase those rookies and they speculate on them. So Giannis, for instance, when he was a rookie, no one cared.
Now they're some sought after cards.
Now the base cards go for over $100 each.
Yeah.
Now a good mate of mine, Pete Horn, and myself used to go down to the Rockley markets. We had a little card store we used to do there just for fun, really. And we used to we would have given out 100 to kids as they walk past. So, we'd open up a box and we'd just give out the base cards to kids as they walk past because no one cared. Now, geez.
Everyone wants them.
Everyone wants them. So, that is, in sports cards, it is a rookie. And we're seeing it a lot more in AFL now too. I mean, we saw what was that card? The Nick Dacos Platinum Signature. We saw him come through the door. Now, the price that was paid for that, it's massive.
Yeah, it's a good looking card.
It was a great looking card, and it graded sensationally, 9.5 it graded. So, where is that card guy? Zion. He hasn't told me where that sold for. But yeah, so to sell that one for $3,200, number to 5, and patch auto. The patch was the laundry tag, which is another thing. Don't ask me why, but people love that tag. Actually, no, it looks like a hat, doesn't it?
It looks like the tag off the back of your shirt.
Could be that. Could be anything like that, but that's the kind of thing. Well, can you tell me again, Bailey? Because, mate, you've just gone and told me far too much. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's all these things from you, but I've lost it. Tell me again. So so that's what people chase, and it's really interesting to see them speculating on that next rookie that may or may not come through.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect like the number 1 draft pick to be like the best player in.
Not every year.
like in the AFL half the time they
No,
don't even make it 4 years. Well, not half
that's
the time,
right.
but sometimes.
Well, sometimes they don't, and like the average term of a AFL draftee is only 3 years.
yeah.
When you consider that there's a whole heap that'll play 15 years, that's a lot of them that get cut after 2.
Too many.
Too many. Yeah, then they go to Essendon after that
Yeah.
because they'll just take anyone. But yeah, so that would be a 25. He still hasn't. I still don't know where it's sold because I just haven't been able to keep up with all the chat. But
We'll find out and it'll just go like right
yeah,
here.
I can't do that to Ruby. I cannot do that to Ruby. That's too hard, surely.
No.
Yeah, favourite players all day. Did you seek Mike Evans? Yes. Do you follow a little bit of the NFL, don't you?
Not too much.
Mike Evans has really come on now. Mike Evans became the 9th player in the history of the game to do 10,000 receiving yards. So
Really?
he's on fire. If he was an Australian, he could be in that other segment we did. But he's not. So now he just goes into the sports card news. So, hey, look, we've gone for about 30 minutes now, which is kind of our target these days. Jez, thank you so much for being the co-pilot today.
Thank you, Rob, for having me.
Oh, mate, anytime. You're welcome anytime because it was good fun. Thanks to everyone that was chatting away. Bailey, Cohen, Taylor. I saw Adam in there. John Smits. Breaking Bad cards. I just saw that. They are awesome Breaking Bad cards. I got some. Bailey, I'll show you that one day. There's a few other people that were chatting. Ben, good games at Harvey Bay. Do Yu-Gi-Oh! So maybe we'll go up to Harvey Bay.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where talking about Harvey Bay. That's where Ruby was a couple of days ago. All right, thank you to everyone for listening in. If you could please give us some feedback and tell us what you'd like to hear more of in the podcast or what you'd like to hear less of. If you want to hear
segment ideas,
some segment ideas. If you want to hear less of Jez or me, don't bother sending that because we won't take it. No.
I'm all right with that.
You're all right. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We're going to see you guys in 7 days' time, less half an hour, 1:30 next Thursday. And Jez, will you join me again?
I will.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Go platinum.